Today I'm presenting a special project because it is done by Toastmasters International. I guess it's not mine, right? No. Could you change it? Okay, I'm going to give you some tips and advice how to choose the right topic. You know, no matter you are a Toastmaster, an official member of our club, or you are a person who has to present, to say something, to give a message to the audience. So let's begin with the speech itself, with the presentation. First of all, I'd like to make a practical exercise with you. Could you look at the agenda and look at Yerlan's title, Yerlan's speech? So what do you see? What's his title? What is he going to talk about? What I've learned as a president of ATC. Yeah, right. You see, this is a great resource for you actually to predict what he's going to talk about. So for sure he's going to talk about his life as a president, some experience, rises and falls, maybe challenges. Yerlan, where are you? Oh, he's left. Okay, because you know, I wanted to say to him that, you know, it's a bit early to draw a line actually, because he has half of the way ahead to be a president of our club. So hopefully we will get those lessons. Right now, let's come to the theory itself, and everything is really simple in terms of choosing a topic, and there are two sources from which you may gather lots of information, get inspired, and just decide what you are going to talk about. And the first source is the personal experience, yourself. And if we look at ourselves, for sure, we are what we like, right? So our interests. If we come back to my experience, I have had lots of speeches, and for sure, I had speeches dedicated to my interests. I used to dance a lot professionally, and I talked about couple dance and its social benefits, for instance. You may also talk about your goals, about your values, some traveling experience, because this is also dedicated to your interest. All right, let's move on. Career. Most of us are quite adult, right? We earn money, we work, and again, from my own experience, I had a speech, a topic which was dedicated to my expertise field. Let's say I was talking about multilingual education, trilingual policy, because I was involved in that project last year. And I think this is a great source. Just look what you are good at. You may share some business processes. For instance, you've opened a business, and you're, again, a source for the audience to get some information which might be useful. Family. Personally, I love that aspect because my best speeches are about that topic. Exactly. I remember I talked about my relationship with parents and the fact that I'm still living with them, so hopefully I will leave them this year. All right, so you may, you know, it's not limited actually, you may talk about relationship with your brothers, with your sisters, with your pets, I don't know, whatever. Love stories. It really works, you know, people love it, doesn't matter a man or a woman. You may just share with us how you make a proposal to your wife or whatever, how someone broke your heart. So that one, yeah, just keep your attention. And education. From my own experience in Toastmasters and in public speaking itself, I don't remember whether I talked exactly about education, but our members do talk about their education, particularly their stories, how they were admitted to universities, because most of us studied abroad. And again, this is a great source. You know, this is something personal, some real lessons which people overcame, and you may gather something for you, exactly. And the second source is really obvious to my mind, reference material, websites, books, magazines, and newspapers. I think we may concentrate on two first, right? Because right now we rarely read magazines or newspapers, and I want to put a focus on books. Because when I was doing my CC, Competent Communicator Manual, for project number 6, if I'm not mistaken, vocal variety, I chose the particular book, which is 48 Rules of Power. Have you read it? Anyone? No one? Okay, so I recommend you to do it because I was really inspired by that book, and you know, I sacrificed the whole speech, my slot, to the book itself. And it really works. So for sure, your speech might be brightful, curious, and interesting for the audience, depending on how you're going to organize it. All right, now we are moving, and the next lesson is get inspired. You know, inspiration is something very sudden, elusive, right? We may not touch it, we may not see it, but it is everywhere actually. Just be careful. Just, you know, stop for a while, look around, enjoy where you are, what kind of people are next to you, right? I'm taking a course on photos right now, online course, and the trainer says to us that, come on guys, don't do it, you know, intentionally. Like, I want to take a really great photo right now, so let me stop and take a photo of that particular woman. No, just, I don't know, get a bit slower and enjoy the process. Another important thing is that you have to make notes all the time. Toastmasters advise us to have a notebook and a pen with us, but I think we are digital people, so you have your smartphones and you always may make some notes. Just if you see that something is really interesting, you've heard, I don't know, a piece of news or some really like wonderful, crazy fact which you haven't known before, write it down. And then when you have free time, you may elaborate on it more. And then it will turn into a great, wonderful speech of yours. Okay, lesson number 2, let's say, or the next lesson is a bit specific. What you have to do while you choose the perfect, ideal topic for you is to narrow. For sure, first of all, we start with general, broad topics such as cooking, traveling, love, friendship. But be careful. If you want to be precise, to be a real source, you have to narrow it down. And what aspects should you pay attention to? First of all, for sure, your audience. So right now, my audience are people who are about, so you are like a big audience because there are, I think, 30, 35 people, something like that. Because sometimes we have really small audience, I don't know, 13 people, and most of them are members and I know them really well. But right now my audience is bigger actually. Another thing is age range. So here we have young generation, let's say, like, I don't know, 20 perhaps and above. It is also important, familiar with the subject, what it means. So if you choose, for instance, such a topic as nuclear weapon, you have to be sure that your audience some kind connected, or you know, is going to study that topic. That's why be careful with choosing the topic itself, and for sure background. Even though you don't know those people, you don't know their names, but I think it is possible to make some kind of research who they are, whether they're students or people from the particular field, like medical people, for instance. That, bless you, would really help you. So audience really matters. Another thing is the occasion. You know that a Toastmaster meeting has a theme. And in most cases, our members don't follow that theme. But you know, sometimes this is a really good technique. Valentine's Day is coming, and for sure we will have a meeting dedicated to Valentine's Day or to love and all that stuff. And you may choose the topic. So associate it with the holiday, associate it with the theme itself, and believe me, it will be a great success. Again, depending on the quality of your speech, but the topic would be wonderful. Another thing is when you are scheduled to speak. So I'm the first one, that's why I may, overwhelm you with different information because you are fresh right now, you're just from home. But if you are at the end, I don't know, number 5 or number 7, then be careful. Don't try to talk about, I don't know, scientific stuff like influence of microbes on our body. Have you ever wondered why icebreakers are at the end of our prepared speaker's speech? Because that information is so light to digest, right? Like people are talking about themselves. Okay, what will happen after your speech? Again, another good technique is that if you know that there will be elections in your country, so you may choose a topic dedicated to that process, or just to talk about one candidate, and then your audience will be interested for sure, because we are all smart people, educated. All right, and the last aspect here, if we talk about narrowing a topic, is your own abilities. So make sure that you are happy with the topic you choose. You should be enthusiastic about, like, hey, I want to talk about that. You should be knowledgeable for sure. Don't lie, people. Say something really legitimate, and you should be an authority. So make sure that your sources are valid and you trust in those sources. Okay, specific. What does it mean? If we talk about Toastmasters program, all speeches are limited within time. So rehearse, rehearse, and rehearse. This is really important. And again, you have a general topic, then you narrow it into different subtopics. But you know, still your subtopics might be numerous. Like you might have 8 subtopics. It's too much, believe me. Try to stick to 3 to 4 as maximum. That's it. But those subtopics should be really essential and important for your topic. What else? So what can be cut from, like, be brave to cut all unnecessary things. Just leave something really important for you, first of all, and for your topic. All right, guys, so this is a formula of how to choose the perfect topic. Some spoons of personal experience, some kilograms of resources, which are valid for sure, and a piece of consideration, then you will have an excellent speech for sure. Back to the Toastmaster.
Okay, Toastmasters and guests. I, honestly speaking, didn't expect 45 people to come. Let's applause to each other. Thank you. Thank you for those who I don't know. It means our PR is working. Thank you. So, 6 months has passed, the half of the term. It was active, it was busy, it was fruitful. No, it was too active, too busy, and too fruitful. So many things happened. And in the end, there is always 1, 2, 3 lessons that you can say in one phrase. But in order to understand it, you need to go through the stress, lessons, and I want to share with 3 lessons that I learned for these 6 months. Let's go with the first one. If you are part of a team, be a team player. Dear Toastmasters and guests, can you imagine the situation? You and your team player made a mistake. Instead of team player, you can imagine your wife or husband, dad, colleague, everybody. It just happens, right? Somebody made a mistake. 2 options. The first one, he made a mistake, right? He made a mistake. And the second one, we will fix it. We made a mistake. We will fix it. Completely different approach, right? On the first one, you say that, oh, I'm a good guy. That guy is not good, right? But on the second one, you're saying, yes, of course, we all can do it, but we will fix it together. So, for these 6 months, there were times when we were busy. I always say that the most important thing in this life is the family. And then it should be the business. For some guys it can be different, right? Work and then family. But work and family, let's make it the one big cloud. Then it should be volunteering or a Toastmaster club. Only then The most important, the relationship, family, business, work, and only after that, volunteering. We were busy. There were months where I lost my officer for 1, 2, 3 months. Can you imagine the gap that cannot be fixed for 3 months? Out of 6 months, 50%? No. So, wow. Not easy, right? We received harsh feedback, not understanding each other. True? Yeah. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Experienced members? All you faced it, right? We thought in a different way for one problem. Again, true. But then I asked myself, as you remember the first situation, what can we do? Hero or we will fix it? And I talked with the officers saying, my dear officer, if you can handle this, I mean, you are not hero, right? There is a gap. And you can promise that after this busy period, you will come, it will be double effective, double active. Let's go together. But if you will say that I cannot do it, it is just real situations that change. Let's make it simple and easy to understand for everything of us. Saying, let's find another officer. And for these 6 months, we changed only one secretary, Alisher to Dina, because Alisher was busy with his work, with his business, and it just happens. But with the other guys, Daniel, do you remember? Yeah. Together we fixed it and made sure that we made the best possible what we can. So, the first lesson, be a team player. Let's go to the second. Create a big challenging goal and then give people a chance to achieve it. In the beginning of the term, I promised to myself we will organize less events, but each of them will be very professional. Burabai trip. It was very professional. And I can say the most professional. Of course, for me, it was the one and only Burabai trip that I visited, and it will be the best one, right? But you can ask as officers that it was the best. Second one, что, где, когда. And once again, it was the only and one что, где, когда that I visited. So for me personally, it was the best one. Then we organized the New Year party. Instead of making sure that there is 5 people who organized it, for example, in New Year party, Nani and Dina, team leaders, organized 15 people who did everything. Cuisine, Mexican cuisine, barman, dancing, music, games, everything was just, I will always remember. You can go to the photos and just see that we were so lucky to have it. So, create a big challenging goal and just give people a chance to achieve it in the best possible way how they can. And the last one. Support is everything. Always support your teammates. Dispute with Almat. Introduction to ATC Constitution. Road chart disputes. When the 2 people were on one cell, it's just real situations that happened when we had the problems. But in the end, as you remember in the first situation, we honestly talk with each other and understand that it happens and we will fix it. So, dear Toastmasters, simple 3 lessons, but it took 6 months to understand it. And the bonus lesson in the end. Always share information. Always share information. If you want to earn respect, always tell truth. I will tell specific situation how I learned this in the next speech. So in this way, it is the small marketing approach so that you will come and listen to my next speech. Thank you.
Most of us, at a certain point of our life, struggle to convey our information to our friends, colleagues, family members. It actually depends on our communication style. And today, Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to learn different communication styles. Why they're so important? And I'm going to use very easy example for you. Fortunately, there are many young people. I hope you all know Masha and the Beer. They are going to help me today for you to learn what the communication styles we have. And first of all, I want to know that we can learn communication styles through the behavior of the people we're interacting with. So let's start from Masha. Masha exhibits the first communication style, direct style. Every day she wakes up and she's ready to conquer the world, to change everything for the better. She's very direct in her approach. She's independent, competitive. She also has the second style, initiating style. She's an outgoing person, energetic, enthusiastic, and she likes to be a center of attention of everyone. Next, complementary styles come from the beer himself, Mishka. So what Mishka has? Sorry. So Mishka has supportive style. What it means? He's amiable. He's calm. Whenever Masha comes to his house, he's welcome her with a cup of tea, with a jar of honey, ready to listen to her. He also got another style, analytical style. Everything is very structured in the house. He knows exactly when he should go to fishing. Since he's very structured, whenever Masha comes to his house, everything comes to ruin. So here's the four analytical, the last style of communication. Let's come back to our real time. I took assessment from Toastmasters International. I got my analytical score on my styles. I had very high direct style, initiating, and analytical, 0 and supporting. Which means I'm somewhere around like Masha with some traits of Misha. Very, very direct and initiating, but still analytical. And I'm the last person you're going to come to listen your sad stories. But you can ask me, so what, Omar? What about those communication styles? Okay, I learned about them. Next one. There is one important rule I want to remember, all of you. First of all, this is aha moment. You're going to achieve the best goal if you communicate your style matches the communication style of the person you're going to share your ideas with. They are more willing to accept your ideas. If they have direct style, speak in their direct style, which way. The same happens with other styles. And I can give a concrete example from my life. It actually hindered my career advancement in one of the largest hospitals chains in Kazakhstan. I was employed in National Medical Holding as a manager, and back then I was given the task to present one project to our board of directors. Since I was fresh graduate from university, I used my analytical skills, like digesting the data, seeking the patterns, everything that I could find in an organization. However, what I failed to recognize that the CEO was a very direct person. So in my third minute of presentation, I actually was interrupted by him. He said, okay, Ahmad, what action should we take? I said, oh, considering this data that we have and all the unnecessary, irrelevant information, we should go that blah, blah, blah. It was very analytical. I overloaded him with all of data. He wasn't satisfied. He asked me again, okay, Ahmad, what action should we take? Over and over again. And I fall flat delivering my project because of that. and it hindered my career advancement in national medical holding for a year or so, because I failed to recognize the communication style of my board of directors. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Toastmaster, I want you to remember today that we all have different communication styles, at least 4 of them. And depending on the way you recognize them, use them, they make a difference between success and failure in your life, especially in your career, in your relationship with others. And I hope when you're going to meet the Mashas and Mishas in your life, you can be able to recognize their styles and use to your own advantage. Over to you.
I got 1 for the money. I got 2 for the base.
Good afternoon, everyone, dear friends and guests. I'd like to thank Gulnaz for giving me opportunity to present about myself and my family, my life. Sorry, and I'd like to thank Ahmad for his priceless time to be my coach. My topic is life is a fate or our choices. Who thinks that our life is consisted of only our choices? Please raise your hand. Who thinks that it's just about destiny or fate? Very nice. So, about December 1985, no one asked me whether I want to come to this life, to this planet or not. So, after 9 months, in September 1986, I came to this world. Please play the video. So, I didn't have choice to be made. I didn't have choice on what ethnicity should I have. Okay, that's fine. I couldn't even choose my male, the family where I'm going to be born, the country, the city, even my color of my skin, eyes, and hairs. So I was born Kazakh in the family of medical professionals. My dad was epidemiologist, my mother was pediatrician, and after that, over time, I didn't even choose my name. So my name means generosity in English. I didn't even choose my kindergarten and school. I remember even my father took me to the sports karate. I didn't like that. Then over time, by the middle of the high school years, I started to make choice. So I changed karate to freestyle wrestling. I started to be interested in girls, like men, unfortunately. I started to be interested in animals. So I just loved animals. I used to have rabbits, dogs, parrots, fish, many kinds of animals. And this interest grew up very fast, and it took me to the question how internal organs of animals can work. For example, heart, how can it beat? So this interest brought me to the choice of specialty, and I knew that I was going to learn medicine. And in just 10 years, I finished my high school and went to Almaty to be enrolled in the best medical school in Kazakhstan. While I was studying at the medical school, I knew that to be a very good professional, I need to learn English. And I went to United States from, this is what I like in animals. I like animals which you can ride on. And I started learning medicine and learning English. So this interest again took me from Texas. In Kazakhstan, I was born in Shimkent, Texas, of the United States. When I was in the United States, just to save money, I traveled from New York City to Austin, Texas, around 3,000 kilometers by bus. Can you imagine? I spent like more than 1 day. And after this time, I improved my English. Then after I finished my medical school, I was invited by Ministry of Health. I worked there as an expert. I didn't have choice again. I wanted to be an expert in international relations department, but there was no vacancy and I took another department. After that, I worked as on different positions in Medical Center of President's Affairs Administration, and right now I'm contributing to the health of our nation and the healthcare in our republic. So I love traveling. I love traveling by car. Last summer, I drove around 5,000 kilometers just by car and spent around 20 days. And some of my top feelings, as you see, I just love high speeding. I know that it's it's not legal. I started in Germany, that's why I like high speed. And I spent in the cabin for 3 minutes under the temperature of minus 110 degrees Celsius. And I cannot forget about the ability not sinking in the Dead Sea. Although you do nothing, but you cannot sink. So I think the life is the mixture of our choices and a fate, and it all depends on your efforts to change the influence of these two. The reasons to join ATC is to hone my public speaking abilities, improve my English, and to make friends. Thank you, guys.
MC to the J-O-E.
Hello guys, today we have our first meeting. Also, New Year has come. New Year is like a new page. You can set new goals. For example, somebody wants to earn more money. The other wants to become more educated, and even some girls want to become sharp. Yeah. All of us set new goals, but not all of us can achieve them. What is the reason? Have you ever asked the question to yourself? I think there are lots of different reasons, but I think one of the reasons is a lack of technique how to achieve goals. So, Mr. Toastmaster, dear ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to speak about a brilliant method that can help you to achieve your goals. So, I named it elephant. Do you know why? How do you think? Okay. So, a big goal is like a big elephant. You cannot eat it with one step. If you want to eat a big elephant, you should divide it into different parts. I hope we don't have Greenpeace activists here, so I will continue my speech. So, deadlines is very important. For example, you should eat this part of elephant, for example, in 2 weeks, and the other part in next 2 weeks. If you don't have any deadlines, it will not give you a chance to achieve your aim. The second step is award. So all of us, people like animals in some case, all of us wanted to be awarded. You know, if a dog makes some trick, you give him a sugar. And the people are like the same. For example, if you say to yourself that if I will eat this leg tomorrow, I will take some prize. It can give you inspiration to continue your journey in achieving your aim. And the third step is not this one. The third step is putting all necessary things on one paper. You should write all things. You should write steps that can give you a chance to achieve your goals. And after you make it, you will eliminate those which is not so important. For example, on the 28th of December is a big day for me because I have made a big deal for myself. I want to become more fit, more attractive, and I want to lose 18 kilograms. So how should I reach this aim? First of all, I slide this aim into 4 parts. I will gain this aim in 4 months. For example, in January, I have to lose 7 kilograms. For example, it is very difficult to lose 18 kilograms in one step. If I will lose 200 grams, maybe 50 grams each day, it is much more easier and you can achieve it. The second step is award. So I have made a deal with a friend, and like if I will be able to lose 7 kilograms for first month, 5 for second, 4 for third, and 2 for fourth month, this person will pay for me in barbershop or massage. If I will not reach this aim, I will pay for massage for this person. Okay, and in the end of my journey, the 28th of April, this is the day of my birth, this person, I hope this person will go with me to Meirbek and he will buy some sports stuff for me. If I will not reach my aim, I will buy on my birthday a present with him. So, third step, I wrote different things for myself that can be useful for me. For example, I bought a ticket to gym, I bought some classes with trainers, and also I'm looking for different videos in YouTube that can be useful for me. And I also eliminate some things like sugar, for example, or bakery stuff and other things. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Toastmaster, there are lots of different methods. Not all methods can be suitable for you. You should choose your own method, and don't forget to set a big goal this year, even today, and choose your method. Good luck to everyone. Thank you for your attention.